Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna be looking at some matchups with this Evil Furnace Graveyard deck. What I'm finding that I'm really struggling against is Lightning, so I do want to show you guys a really good Lightning match that I played. So, again, guys, I'm sorry I have to do voiceovers, but I tried recording while playing and I just can't. I'm just dead silent because I'm trying to focus, right? So, yeah. So he goes Night Witch in the back, and I respond with a Knight in the back. And at this point, I'm like, okay, he's playing Golem because Night Witch is only really played with Golem. I don't know if any other deck plays Night Witch. Maybe some E-Golem deck, but E-Golem isn't really that good in this meta because of all the Witch and Evo, what's it called? Evo Furnace 2. Yeah, my bad. Forgot the card I was playing. But because of all those cards, E-Golem's not that good in the meta, so I instantly assume Golem. Lumberjack, Electro Dragon is a really good sign that he's playing Golem. And he does go for a pump, so I do opt to poison the pump. And we're sitting at about even elixir, but the thing is, he is going to have to respond to my Furnace, so I'm not too scared about that. So he does respond to my Furnace, and this now makes me go up. But because of his pump down, I'm actually not up, so... But that's a really good interaction that we had, because, he didn't get that much elixir from his pump, so I mean, yeah, he just got 3 fat pumps there, but you know, if we focus up, I think we're chill. I really don't know why he didn't use Electro Dragon. I mean, I guess he opted to go for a Lightning instead. I do think if he used Electro Dragon, I would have lost. I do think if he also had Tornado, I would lose, but I digress. So his Golem does get fat amount of damage, but it's okay because single elixir I feel like is the hardest against Golem, and in double elixir in this 1 minute, that in the last minute before the game, we have to win, right? If we goes to triple, I usually lose, especially if they have lightning decks. It's like I don't know, I just find it really hard to go against them. So here I'm like, okay, he goes for a pump. He's obviously trying to meet a poison, wants to get me to poison his pump, but I'm like, man, I'm not going to poison your pump. I'm actually just going to give you the elixir advantage. I acknowledge that I'm giving you the elixir advantage, but I think my Evil Furnace is going to even out the elixir advantage so much and give me so much value that I think that it's going to be worth it. So it's such a shame that the Furnace didn't take out the Electro Dragon, and it kind of stopped my whole push in its tracks. But yeah, basically why I didn't poison his pump was because I'm like, I need damage. Look how much damage I got on his tower, by the way, guys. Take a look at that. I got a ton of damage on his tower, and the reason why getting damage on his tower is so good is because I don't think I gave him that much of elixir advantage because my Evil Furnace got so much value. And when I'm up that much damage, he had to go Evil Lumberjack. And you see, when I went Barbaro, at this point his tower is so low that if he didn't go Evil Lumberjack, he would have lost the game 100%. So that's really good on me for actually making sure I don't I think it's the unnecessary vines, but I do think I got saved for 1 hit, and he opts to go Lightning, which I think is a good Lightning because I had to go for unnecessary vines and I was down elixir, so I opt for another Goblin Hut. But basically, guys, the way I took down his tower, right? Like I took down his tower to really low. So the fact is, because it's so low, the fact is because it's so low, he had to go Evil Lumberjack, and he couldn't put Evil Lumberjack behind his Golem, which is the scary part. And that is the reason I won, because he didn't get enough value from his Evos. I do get a nice vines. I freeze everything. I'm getting a bunch of damage. I go for a poison to kill everything. I think this poison was a little aggressive, but at the same time, look at his Golem. His Golem is basically dead. I think if I didn't go Hut and I just cycled my Berserker, my Barb Barrel, I would have won. But here it is, the last final stretch. It looks a little scary and it looks a little sketchy, but it is all fine. And I do go for a nice poison, and I do have vines ready. I think I do go vines. Yep. And that is a good game. I think that was very stressful. I don't think you guys understand. My voiceover obviously makes this sound very easy, but man, in the moment, I was struggling. The next match I want to show you guys is Golden Knight Recruits, because I do think some of you guys struggle against this, because Golden Knight does make it pretty annoying. But the key thing with Golden Knight, the key thing against Recruits, right, is to never cycle Graveyard, okay? Never, because first of all, they may have Mother Witch. That's a whole different story. But against recruits, when you know they're playing recruits, do not cycle Graveyard. I repeat, do not cycle your Graveyard, because if you cycle your Graveyard, it is so over. It is so over if you cycle your Graveyard. Because I mean, you just get a fat counter push. Anyway, so I have a Knight going down. That's why I poison that side. So because I go Knight there, I feel like the Knight's gonna kill most of the recruits. And the recruits basically die out, and I go for a nice Berserker Furnace just to clean everything up. And at this point, evil Flying Machine just pulls a no you, because I don't know. I think it's crossed the river. I don't know about you guys. I'm 99% sure it crossed the river. I'll wait for the Flying Machine to lock onto my power though, because I think the piggies will be doing more damage. And now he lost, because look how much goblins I have going down, right? So look how the counter push. I go have goblins, right? He does have to go bar barrel. And look at this. I go for a graveyard. He has the goblin cage. He doesn't have anything for this graveyard. And the second he puts anything down, yeah, it doesn't matter, because Golden Knight's not enough. And I do go for an easy Vines, and that is tower down. So what a nice way to show you guys how to be recruits. I just think, like, because I graveyarded, I acknowledge the fact that he's low on elixir. I go for a graveyard. He couldn't defend it. He had to go fireball, which was great because we want to force out the spells on defense. For example, if he went Zappies, it would have taken a tower anyway, because I would have Vines. One, I would have Vines, and two, like, I don't know if you guys know, but like, troops only attack the graveyard, like, it basically overwhelms, right? At that point, so many skeletons have spawned that it was gonna overwhelm him. So I do agree with the going with the fireball, but I just had more elixir than him. Look at this play. I really like this play. I like to pull everything back, especially with the Golden Knight. I love to pull the Golden Knight back like that, because I just think it's such a, like a cheap, almost cheap move, because kind of like, okay, I'm not gonna fight you now, and I'm gonna pull everything back and separate his push out. Because if his, again, if I didn't have the tower down, that push would have been definitely difficult to defend. I feel like I would have just put Knight like way out, well, not even way out, like way to the left or to the right, and then just let it tank. I go for a hut, and I go for a nice bar barrel, and I go for a Knight, and I go for Berserker, and that is all cleaned up. So what a great match. I mean, just the fact that we were able to punish him, that is part of Graveyard. I feel like that is the definition of Graveyard, waiting for the right moment to punish, recognizing that we had a fat counter push, and he went too aggressive. Guys, I don't know about you, but I cannot break out of like 1700. I'm trying to get to 1800. I just keep losing and winning, and it's mostly against Lightning, right? So like, this is a Lightning deck. This deck I should have won, but that's a whole different story. I mean, this, I don't know. This guy has so many tanks. I don't know. Lightning, and it's just like, should have won that. But he had poison, honestly. If he had Golden Knight or anything other than like poison, I would have won, but it's fine. This one, oh, I know this. Oh, how stupid. I just misplayed, and just most of the decks I'm losing to, like, are usually like, okay, this doesn't even count. Okay, a lot of decks I'm losing to have Lightning in them, and I don't know, everything else is like definitely stuff I can win. So I think I'm gonna show you one more battle. I do think I like this Expo matchup, but at the same time, I do like this Giant Skeleton weird mashup deck. But so against these like bait decks, like Wall Breakers, he has Skeleton Barrel, like these are all baity cards. And against these type of decks, you just gotta play so passive. You go Graveyard, you're so cooked. I'm slowly like recognizing that like against certain matchups like Hyper Bait or even as any type of bait deck, it's like I can't go Graveyard. If I go Graveyard, I lose. So I cycle a quick Knight into the Giant Skeleton. I do think I go for a Furnace into the Giant Skeleton just to DPS it down, right? And Giant Skeleton is not too scary. At least I don't think it's too scary. It's mainly his win conditions that are scary, but I get a nice Bar Barrel Vines down, and it's a good... The reason why I'm in Bar Barrel Vines, you might guys think it's very It's very aggressive, but I want to cycle back to my Goblin Hut because I thought he was back to Wall Breakers, but he opted to go for Skeleton Barrel, which is fine. I'm not mad. And he does misplay his cannon. He places one tile too high, so the tower doesn't actually shoot the furnace, and the furnace does get tons of damage. Actually, never mind. But I forced out a ton of elixir, and at this point, I wanted to go for a graveyard, but at the same time, I knew he had Evil Witch and Cycle, so I was like, okay, just hold off, you know? So I am up a knight, right? So it is a good place to be. I mean, I'm up like 1 or 2 elixir. So just go for Berserker. I know at this point he doesn't have any big spells. Guys, I want to show you guys a Vine's Bar Barrel does fully counter Evo Skeleton Barrel. I know it's a 3 for 5, but again, this Skeleton Barrel is the Evo, so I do think giving him 2 elixir value. I mean, it just comes in clutch. It doesn't come in clutch, but I feel like, for example, if he had other stuff going on like a Wall Breakers, I do think the Bar Barrel will help out more. But yeah, 3 for 5, 5 for 3 is definitely not something you want to be doing. But if you have to do it, you know, you just got to do it, man. I go for a Graveyard, and now I'm gonna go for a Furnace up high. So overall, pretty good. I mean, he does have an Evil Witch down, but he's not even up that much elixir. And I go for a Knight up high. I go for a nice little hut. And sadly, the hut does not pull the Skeleton Barrel, and it looks pretty bad for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I mean, the Evil Witch is dead at least, so we get 2 Evil Witches down. I do try to get a Knight in front. No, he does try to get Giant Skeleton, so I go Knight in front. And although the bomb's gonna kill one of the furnaces will survive. Furnace is DPSing down the Giant Skeleton nicely. I think I get a poison onto the Witch. Oh, I get a nice binds. That's very good, actually. Good binds. I probably will go poison or even Evil Furnace. Okay, good on me for being patient with the poison. I think if I poisoned there, I would have lost. Because I only should, like, poison wouldn't have done anything, I feel like. I do think that Evil Furnace provides so much more value. I like that. You know, sometimes I have worse decisions in the voiceover, so I think me in that heat of moment realized that he didn't have a big spell, right? And the fact is, when he doesn't have a big spell, I'm confident that I can go for Furnaces. Is going to be a ton of value. Look, the Furnace took down the Giant Skeleton. The Furnace took down like all his little troops, and I'm always have a Furnace on the board. I feel like when you have control of the match, you always have a Furnace down on the board, and that's what you always want to have. And I'd have a nice Goblin Hut for the Evo Skeleton Barrel. This time I didn't get a fat negative trade. I do go for a poison just to spell cycle, because at this point I'm like, okay, I'm kind of low. He's kind of winning right now, but it's nothing I can't handle. So the Giant Skeleton does go down, and I do get a nice little firecracker. Furnace down. Double Evil Furnace action going on. I mean, at this point, I'm a little scared. He's obviously trying to stall out the clock, but I'm not scared of him stalling out the clock. I know with 10 seconds left, I can easily get 1,000 damage. I mean, it's not hard. So I just start going in now. I get a nice Berserker. I get a nice Poison. I get a nice Vines. Boom. And it is GG's. I mean, I was never too scared because I know how much damage I can like put out, and I was seeing like, dang, he's really throwing everything at the bridge. And since he doesn't have a big spell, my friend is gonna deal with everything, and my graveyard will be able to deal with his towers and deal with significant damage. I mean, just know what your offensive potential is. I knew I was playing defensive the whole match, so I know he didn't realize like how much offensive potential this deck has. I mean, graveyard poison, vines is almost guaranteed damage. I feel like almost nothing can stop it besides like a poison, a defensive poison. So I showed you guys a Golem Lightning matchup. I showed you guys Recruits matchup, and I showed you guys a Giant Skeleton bait deck. So I think that's a really good way to end off this